Hello friends, my dear students. Long time it has been since I wanted to make a video on some subject. This lockdown has sort of made everyone desperate, so I thought this would be the right time to make a video. So what would be the topic for me? Then I just realized that today is Shakespeare's birthday. So I jumped up. Really, Shakespeare is a personality who has been my greatest inspiration. But today in my video, I'm not going to talk about his life or works. Plenty is there in the world of internet, and you must have heard a lot about that topic. But what I'm going to focus today in my brief talk is why is Shakespeare considered, after all, the greatest writer to ever have lived on this earth? Well, first and foremost, I would like to say one of the biggest points to establish his greatness is the fact that Max Muller had shared. According to Max Muller, a well-educated person is capable of using 5 to 6,000, maybe 7,000 words. Well-educated person. And John Milton, one of the greatest writers of English, according to Max Muller, is said to have used about 10,000 words vocabulary, and in that he is almost the second greatest writer. So it takes a John Milton to have a vocabulary of 10,000 words. When I say 10,000 words, it's not the normal words, literary words. And on top of this, according to Max Muller, is William Shakespeare. And you know how many words, according to Max Muller, Shakespeare had? He had 29,000 words. So just consider the difference between John Milton and William Shakespeare. This fact alone is enough to establish that. No wonder John Milton, the author of Paradise Lost, a famous work in itself, had written a sonnet in great reverence of Shakespeare, and the sonnet was called On Shakespeare. So John Milton's favorite writer was William Shakespeare. John Keats, who was born maybe around 200 years later, it is said in his life whenever he composed poetry, he used to keep the Shakespeare's bust behind him, because John Keats hoped that some inspiration will be dawned on John Keats. That was his belief. This again shows. William Wordsworth's favorite writer was William Shakespeare. Agatha Christie has written many novels, drawing, and the titles of her novels are lines from Shakespeare. To just give you an example, By the Pricking of My Thumbs is a famous novel of Agatha Christie, and By the Pricking of My Thumbs is a line from Macbeth. Thomas Hardy is another classic writer, and his novel Under the Greenwood Tree draws its title from Shakespeare's play As You Like It. Victor Hugo has done the same. In fact, there's a record, again, according to Guinness Book of World Records. Shakespeare's lines have been the inspiration for the titles of 269 novels. That is a record. In no other language is such a thing found. That is, an author's work becomes the source of many of other novels' titles. 260, that's another book. Another thing I would like to say is that the Guinness Book of World Records, according to it, the source of the Guinness Book of World Records, Shakespeare happens to be the author on whom the most number of films are made, not only for English, across the world, and the number is 425 movies. That's a Guinness record. Shakespeare still happens to be the greatest author in terms of sales, only falling behind Bible, and is the third most translated author. Apart from all of these facts, there's one important thing. In all languages, all great writers have drawn from a language to enrich their literature. But Shakespeare is perhaps the only author to have enriched literature through the invention of new words. It is to Shakespeare more than 2,000 words in English are attributed for inventions. A lot of our common words we use on a daily basis is said to be found by Shakespeare. I'll give you a few examples. Football, assassination, eyeball, academics, plenty of words. There are more than 2,000 words. This small video will not be enough to say and cover all of the words. If you said vanished into thin air, if you said for God's sake, if you said good riddance, if you said I didn't sleep a wink, if you said in a pickle. Lots of expressions like this and more actually Shakespeare in origin. The largest theatre festivals around the world is still, even as in 2020, is in Shakespeare's name. The biggest children's theatre festival, called as the Shakespeare Schools Festival, is in Shakespeare's name. Well, so just I wanted to give an idea of his greatness. This must have probably must have given you an idea of his greatness. Thanks for watching.